Easy Patreon. So as requested, this video is just all about drum structure and drum arrangement. We're going to kind of go over how I started with this. And then created this. The video has been split up into two parts. So in the first part is just looking at how I kind of started off with a melody, a kick and a snare, and I kind of built it up to create a drum loop that I felt happy with, that I can continue creating a track. Briefly looking at some production techniques I use to kind of just add some interesting sounds and ear candy to it. And yeah, just kind of just looking at how I structured the drums and arrangement to make the loop that I was like, yeah, this slaps. In the second part, we're kind of just look at how I took that loop and I extended it to create a track, and how I built a track around that initial drum loop. Again, just looking at some production techniques and some tricks that I might have used just to keep the track interesting, and some simple processing which I used on the track. Additionally, with this track, I've made the stems available for you guys, so you guys can download all the stems which I used and yeah, just use it for your own stuff. Plus, for you Ableton users, I also created an instrument rack where you guys can kind of just like also recreate one of the effects I used without having to dial in all the settings. I've made it a lot easier for you guys so that you can just throw it in and start creating some interesting drum effects. So yeah, let's go. Cool, so I'm gonna build a drum pattern, whatever, around this loop I have, and yeah, kind of see what happens. I'm gonna kind of start off with just a simple kick and snare pattern, and then slowly build off of that, and then we'll kind of look at, yeah, just like time divisions and yeah, trying to add groove to the drums. I'm gonna try, for the sake of me, not get too carried away and add too much. Usually that's something I kind of do if there's not already like a melody or like whatever, some sort of pattern to kind of write the drums around. And then yeah, kind of take it from there. So here's a melody I'm gonna kind of work around. This melody is from the Patreon sample pack. I last did the E-digging one. So yeah, this is something you can use in your own productions as well. There we go. Nice loop, kind of just like, yeah, I'll kind of rate in those kind of keys. It's got a little bit of like, yeah, distortion, a little bit of, a little bit of noise. Almost kind of got that lo-fi kind of tape saturation on top. So yeah, let's open up my drum bus and then kind of take it from there. It's always good to kind of try and have all your samples well organized. Mine is kind of slowly getting more and more chaotic. I'm gonna try not to get too obsessive over these drums. That's one thing, like I feel like whenever I'm making drums, I can just, yeah, I can spend ages just knocking at it. So I'm gonna try and fly through this and do this as quickly as possible. Cool. Let's just get all of those in. Right, let's get a little drum pattern going. think that one needs to go. Cool. Alright. That sounds pretty cool. There we go. And what I might do, I might even just mute this one just to add a little something to it. A little sauce to it. Cool. Right, let's get some more samples in. Alright, I might layer up the snare. Get you in there. And so I'm going to just use the fade on here. I want this really snappy. Cool. And I might even pitch them all down, a couple semitones. Might use a different sound. I think that would be better. And I'll use that snare for something else, maybe like some snare rolls or something. So let me just bypass those. And just same thing again, just pitch this down a little bit. Cool. I don't want to spend too much time just obsessing about little bits. I kind of just want to get like a groove going, just so you guys can kind of just see just like my process when doing drums. I want to get that little sound right. Just use that looks like it's got, just bring that tail in. Again, I just kind of want it snappy. Pitch that down as well. What does that sound like together? Maybe what if I send you to the left, send you to the right? That sounds pretty cool. Bit of texture that. Cool. I'm gonna leave you in the center. I don't like this top one. Get rid of you. Cool. All right. Rather than these ones. A lot of this, obviously, as many of you will know, is trial and error, and you kind of just, yeah, seeing what works for you. Not bad start, not bad start. Right, yeah, let's get some hi-hats in there. Like, yeah, a lot of my drums are just like samples. It's only, yeah, the hi-hats and the kick, which I'll use like MIDI for. Everything else, I'm just kind of happy just like, yeah, just throwing audio in. Cool. Right, so let's just get a simple hi-hat pattern in there. Maybe I might use a different hi-hat. And then just play around with the velocities a little bit. Let me just double check that the velocity actually does something. Cool. Let's just add these just to layer up with that little loop we got going on as well. Nice. So I'm gonna use the track delay to kind of like throw these hi-hats back a little bit, and then this is just gonna add just a little bit of extra groove onto it. Cool. So slowly getting there. I want to add some more snares in there. Let's get rid of you and you as well. Just clean up a little bit. Cool. Right. So I'm going to layer this up. I'm going to get another hi-hat. And this is just going to mainly just be for like rolls and stuff. Cool. Pitch you down just a little bit. Cool, that sounds pretty cool. Maybe pitch all of you down even more. Cool. Right, try not to get too obsessive. Cool. Jeez. All right, let's double that up. That sounds pretty cool. Let's hear what we got. Right. I do like to add. I mean, that sounds pretty good how it is. I know that I want another snare in there. I know that much. I know that much that I'm definitely gonna want another snare in there. Pitch you down even more. Why not? Double this up. Let's get you in here. Why not? I know what I'll do as well. I'm gonna bring you down here, consolidate that so it's all one thing, and just so I can add a fade to it. Cool. That's sounding pretty cool. Let's hear what my secret sauce is saying on top. I'm trying my hardest not to just keep throwing samples in there. Let's hear what Halftime's saying. That's sounding pretty good. So let's loop that up. Let's get 16 bar out of this. Cool. Nice. And what I might do as well, I might loop up just this first bar and if I turn you off instruments, audio effects, let's get beat repeat on here. Cool, whatever. So I'm gonna record that in just as a little variation. Sampling solo you, arm you, let's record you in. Cool, that will do. So we've got a few options here. I'll zoom out of that and I'm gonna put you in loop mode just so that I can use the playhead and scrub through. So as you can see, when I move the playhead, it kind of mirrors it on my arrange view. And what I might have to do is just mute some of these samples in here. That does sound pretty cool. I mean, we've got variation. We can throw a few different ones in here. So I'm gonna put that in my drum bus, and I might even, yeah, I'll leave it down there. That's cool. Maybe I'll use the more extreme version. That sounds sick. Let's get halftime back up. So I definitely need something. I know I definitely need something happening here to kind of just like, yeah, let the listener know that it's the end of the 16th bar. I can go as subtle as or as extreme as I want. So if I was kind of gonna go subtle, maybe I'll just like start stripping away some of these sounds. I might take away like this hi-hat bit. I might remove some of these snares maybe. And do you know what I could do? I could just bring this back in and just use a different section of the loop. That sounds pretty cool. And I might get rid of all of that. And you get the snare again, but add a delay to it. Delay. I might do it manually. So what I'm gonna do, yeah, I'm gonna do it manually because I'm a psychopath. I want it pitching down. Bring you down to 2. Bring you down to 3. No, okay, let's do it to 5. Let's do you down to 7. 5. Cool. All right. Consolidate you, and then just add a fade. Maybe what I could also do is add a delay, no, a pan, sorry. Cool. Cool. There we go. That's what I want. All right. And you know what? I'm going to throw you here as well. Cool. So I think at this point, we've got like some drums that are sounding half decent. So at this point, this is sounding pretty good. And this is something which I would probably run with. Like, I'll be like, cool. We've got some sick drums happening here. So moving forward, I might even be like, okay, cool. You know what? Where's these hi-hats? I might even like double them up and just be like, okay, on the next section, let's add like some delay to it. Or do you know what? Instead of doing it on those ones, let's get rid of you. Do it on this one just because there's a bit more space in between it. Turn you back up. Let's hear that sound to the rest of it. And what would sound sick? So now I'm getting a little bit excited now. So what would be sick is, rather than having the delay as an insert on this hi-hat, it would probably sound better if I take you off and send you to a bus, send you all the way to bus A, and then add that delay back on. And then add a little pan to the delay. Let's get that in sync. Cool. That sounds pretty dope. So what I should say is that, like, compared to like some other producers who you might see put like loads of stuff on their drums, on their tracks, and yeah, their samples and stuff, loads of processing, that's something which I will kind of like do later down the line. Usually I just trying to get the idea down. I want, when I'm in here and I'm on creative mode, that's what I'm doing. I'm just like knocking out tunes, getting a vibe going, just so that I can maintain that type of momentum. I'm pretty happy so far with what we got. What would I do extra? What you could do that as a little effect, maybe I could, if I solo the drums, get an audio track and resample, and then I'm going to change, so I'm on 129 BPM at the moment. If I change this to, let's see, 210, and just record something in. Cool. That sounds pretty chaotic, but don't worry about it yet. And then solo this, we'll bring it back down to what we was working on, 129. And then what I'll do, I'll change the warp to repitch. And then, you know, that can just be like almost like a little B section or an intro, whatever. Let's duplicate all of that. Let's loop this up. Let's get rid of these drums. I'm gonna keep the snare, and I might get rid of these hi-hats. I might have to mute some more sounds. Do you know what will sound cool on that? So this is me kind of just going a little bit off track now. Maybe if we get Shaper Box on that. So yeah, this is like the Cable Guys Shaper Box 2. Yeah, and this is pretty dope. I'm still kind of like, yeah, getting my head around it, but so far I'm enjoying it still. And then I just want this in that higher to mid band. Right, so let's have a little listen to what we've got so far. Sick. So yeah, just because we were just focusing on drums, usually I would just be adding sound effects around this kind of point. And that would kind of help me just like, yeah, adding those extra kind of moments of ear candy, just letting listeners know like at the 16th bar, at the 32 bar, every 8 bar, just like little kind of bits and bobs that just adds some character, just letting the listener know that something's happening, something's changing, and just yeah, to try to keep them enticed. I think at this point, without trying to like add at this point without trying to add like basses, extra melodies, like a cappella or something, this is where I'll probably just kind of hold fire on the drums for now, just so I can start focusing on the other areas of the track. But yeah, hopefully, kind of seeing me going through this, I tried to fly through this as quickly as I could. Um, Kind of give you guys like a my thought process when kind of doing drums. Um, yeah, and like I said, like usually at this stage, I try not to focus too much on how my drums sound. It's more of a case of just getting the idea down, enjoying the process of making music, and then I worry about the dynamics and the quality and cleaning up audio once I finish the track and I start mixing down. So yeah, this is how I kind of like go about my drums. I hope like yeah, you guys kind of picked up a few little bits. I know that some of the stuff I've done is a bit long-winded, and I know at the same time, um, it might kind of just feel obvious as well with some bits, and some bits may seem a bit simplistic. But yeah, this is kind of just like how I'd approach something which feels like this, more kind of like yeah, trappy kind of style. So yeah, hope you enjoyed.